Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is HerO. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters, and we've got a nice little epic game going on here today. And yeah, it should be awesome. So throw around enough awesome sounding words at the start of the game, and yeah, everybody enjoys it. So let's go ahead and start checking the game out. And down the bottom right side of the map is a player we have not seen a whole lot. In fact, this may potentially be the first game I've ever cast of him. But he does play for Root Gaming, so that does make him awesome. He's 26 years old, from the United States, plays for Root Gaming. His name is ViBE, with a lowercase I and everything else capital. So that's pretty awesome, and he's currently going for a hatch first build, and his opponent is none other than HerO, one of the best Protoss players currently playing Starcraft. Man, he is pretty freaking awesome. And yes, I don't know, man, I don't know anything about ViBE, but I gotta say he's got to be the underdog in this game because, well, he's facing HerO, and HerO is awesome. So yeah, HerO, 23 years old, from South Korea, and plays for Team Liquid, so that makes him Liquid HerO. Yes, we're just mastering the obvious at the start of this game because, well, nothing's really happening too much. Very, very standard stuff. Gateway into Cyber Core. Actually got a fair amount of gas here, quite a fair amount of gas. Gone for the early double, so we're almost certainly going to be seeing a Stargate come out, maybe some Oracle play, something like that. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, let's have a look and see if that Stargate does come out. He's actually spent a lot on a Nexus, but he's got the gas for any sort of crazy tech building he wants, which is good. And Mr. ViBE, is he going for a early third base? I do not know. He's currently building a bunch of lings and stuff. Oh man, we're in this situation again where ViBE is on the left on the display, but he's actually on the right on the map. This is going to be annoying. But yeah, because I look at what HerO's doing. I look up the top left, and he's building a Stargate. Or Stargate, yeah. I always get confused Stargate versus Starport, but yeah, he is building a Stargate. So actually building it right out the front, so not attempting to hide it at all. He wants ViBE to know that there are Oracles and Phoenix and all that other fun stuff coming. So here we go, the Ling's actually coming in, and the probe just blocks it at the very last second. So nice job there, 25 minerals to block a scout, and you know what? He didn't really need to scout anything, but those Lings could have harassed those workers forever, which would have been annoying. So Overlord's going to get the scout off anyway, so this is a bit regardless. And here we go, third hatchery coming down, so it looks like it's going to be some pretty standard plays so far from both players. We don't have an Oracle coming out, we do have a Phoenix coming out, so we're going to be seeing a swarm of them early game to basically just annoy Overlords and maybe dissuade ViBE from going mutiling. Perhaps he's like, hey, I've got Phoenix, so you know what, don't go mutiling, it's not a good idea. So here we go, and now the mass exodus of Overlords back to their home base is going to start, but whether or not they all make it back is another matter entirely. My guess would be no. This one's going to go down. Oh, the second Phoenix coming out, and so much damage. Now it's just the Phoenix hunting force has to find all the Overlords. There's another one down there, which is going to be an easy hit, but they don't know it's there yet. And with two Phoenix, they can actually start to lift up. Well, they couldn't really kill Queens. They can kill workers, but not really killing Queens. Queens is a bit too much at the moment. They're getting a nice scout off, though, so that's going to be good. Oh, lifting up the Queen, but there's already another Queen there. And yes, here we go. Having a good job of trying to kill that Queen, but one Phoenix being very, very low on health. So it's going to be getting out of there, and they're probably just going to be jumping back and killing this Overlord ASAP, because that guy is an annoying pain in the ass. So let's have a look at the economy for now. It looks like ViBE is shooting ahead, as Zerg players usually will at this point in the game. He's actually got... This is actually a really, really good time for ViBE to be shooting ahead, because he knows that HerO has put a lot of investment into Phoenix. He's built 5 Phoenix, he's building a 6th at the moment. So that means there's no real danger of a large ground force of Protoss coming in. So all he needs to worry about is anti-air. He's got the Queens, and he's got the Spore Crawlers, and that's going to be enough for now. And he can spend everything else he wants to on workers. So he can build up a massive amount of workers here, and he's actually going to lose a fair amount of workers there, but the Spore Crawlers doing their job. He's actually got multiple Spore Crawlers over there, which is going to be good. The Phoenix Starting to get very, very badly harassed by this queen, by these spore crawlers. The overlords all hiding on top of the spore crawler, which is not a bad idea. Killing some transitioning workers, pretty nice stuff. So HerO, oh, so far doing a very, very nice job of sniping some workers. And he definitely needs to snipe them because, I mean, yeah, he's killed. Wait, this replay is freaking old, man. It doesn't even have units lost, so he's definitely killed a lot. ViBE still ahead by 9 workers. I can't believe how old this replay was. I thought I'd finished with all of those old ones, but apparently not. Bunch of lings coming in. We've got the good old anti-ling cannon set up over here, which is you hide the cannon inside the buildings, and lings on an attack move will not attack the buildings, they'll just attack the cannon, but they can't get to it, so they'll just sort of headbutt things for a while. Oh man, Phoenix, they're starting to get pretty low on stuff, but there we go, the queen. So that was a major mistake by that queen, and she is going to pay for it. And there we go, taking out another worker, just doing the good stuff, coming in here, another worker coming in. You can take out a fair amount of workers, but you've got to be on the ball as far as paying attention is concerned, because sometimes you miss the workers. So here we go, killing another worker. And ViBE doesn't really have too much you can do about this in the moment. He's starting to get out some hydras, which is good. Oh, the queen coming out at the wrong spot. And here we go, the ling's actually trying to get in here, but force fielded ASAP, not going to happen. Let's see what happens when the hydras come out. So here we go, 1, 2 hydras, couple more coming out here, and the Phoenix just running. They run straight over a spore crawler. That's how crazy they are. Lifting up a queen, gonna snipe it out, but the hydras, oh, they're actually trying to lift up the hydras, but no, in the end, they're just going to be back it off, which is not a bad idea. And ViBE going for mass hydras, actually building a ton of them. So HerO instantly going to be building a robotics bay, or robotics whatever it's called, and chumping out the Colossus ASAP. He knows he needs the Colossus, but we know that he needs something more than a Colossus. He needs something to tank that damage as well. So my expectation is going to be a bunch of zealots and stalkers and all that other stuff in the front of his army. A decent amount anyway. Ling's trying to come around, but they cannot defeat the single cannon inside a bunch of warp gates. But the Hydras should be able to take it out. Hydras are pretty good at getting around obstacles. Here we go, Nexus overcharge. Actually, the Nexus killed a bloody Hydras. You don't see that every day. Now coming in is trying to hold off here, but there's so many forces. ViBE really putting the pressure on, and HerO, he needs his Colossus so bad it's not even funny. The Phoenix even coming in to try and lift up the Hydras to help it out, but nah, finally you took a fair amount of damage, but he gave quite a bit of punishment as well. And ViBE decides to fall back and just build up more workers. He's building up a 4th base. He's saying, okay, I don't quite have enough to just bring the hammer down and just kill everything. He perhaps could have gone through and maybe he could have taken this base out, but he would have taken a large amount of losses. So he chose to fall back, focus a bit more on his macro, just get stupidly in front, which he already is, but HerO is getting up. HerO is getting a ton of workers out. HerO is in a very, very good position as far as his economy is concerned. Not quite up to where the Zerg player is, but close enough so that he's very, very scary off 3 bases. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And we do have our first Colossus out. We've got a second Colossus on the way, and we've also got a Void Ray coming out, which should be pretty nice. Void Rays can be pretty good versus Hydras. Oh, just sniping a couple of things here. Not quite sniping the Queen. Knows he probably doesn't have enough time or enough DPS to take that out. All the Hydras sniping. Phoenix, the Spore Crawler sniping another Phoenix. They're down to 3 at the moment. This is coming to the end of the Phoenix harassment for Mr. HerO, and it was good while it lasted, but I think it's almost over right here. So I don't think he's going to be building any. No, as I say that, he's building another Phoenix, and now we know why the video is so damn long, because there are going to be Spore Crawlers coming out here. Oh, sorry, it's not Spore Crawlers, Swarm Host. I always get confused between those two, and the Zealots coming in. They see the Swarm Host and they're like, no, alright, we've got some Swarm Host coming on. That's not good. And suddenly HerO, man, needs to be building a ton of stuff. He's actually got 2 more Stargates coming out. So he's going to be going for his Swarm Host counter, which my guess would be Tempest. Void Rays maybe, but my guess would be Tempest, simply because there's Hydras on the map, and Void Rays trying to take care of Swarm Hosts and Hydras at the same time. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit dodgy, so yeah. But then again, I don't know, because he hasn't built a He's actually going for Void Rays. He hasn't built a fleet beacon yet, so Void Rays for now. But I would not be surprised if he decides to go for Tempest at some point, because they are pretty special. And here we go. Phoenix coming in. Oh, managed to get up a nice Phoenix army once again, and the workers going down. 5 spine crawlers, no spore crawlers. Mr. ViBE, you have made a mistake right here, and workers getting destroyed right here. What are we looking at? 66 versus 66. He has gone down quite a bit. The swarm host coming in though, and you saw they just did a little hit on this Colossus. He's down half health already. Where's my thingamabob? So there we go. Phoenix doing a great job, but the swarm hosts are going to be a problem. Colossus going to try and hold him up. He's got 4 Colossus, which is almost enough. He needs a couple more, I feel like. But he's just focusing solely on Void Rays at the moment, which is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. And yeah, the Void Rays, if they're getting close to this, they can start to just shred everything. And Void Rays can do a pretty good job of shredding the Hydras as well, if they really get in there. So your Void Rays used to be screwed over, but they're starting to get better. And here we go, the ultimate anti-Colossus unit. It is going to be the Viper. So the Colossus, suddenly they start getting yanked into the whatchamacallit, into the Locust Brood. Oh, he's actually going for a push here, and he's managed to get in when these Locusts coming out. So he's got to push them back. He's got a decent amount of Colossus. That does buy time for ViBE to pull back a little bit further. He's got to land. He's got to pull out a bunch, and didn't quite get the timing there. He was hoping to get Locusts off, and the Phoenix actually lifting off the swarm host as they're retreating. That is a genius move. I love that right there. It's so hard to actually kill swarm hosts because they're so defensive. They pull back really, really early, and usually players take really good care of them, but the Phoenix lifting them up is a beautiful play. I really, really like that from HerO. And he managed to snipe 4 swarm hosts from that. I wonder if the Phoenix could actually lift them up when they're underground, but oh man, the Phoenix just getting left out in the cold for a little bit there. And he could potentially, if he finds a good place, ViBE desperately trying to re-push his army to a good position right here. Here come the Vipers, and here we go. 1, 2, 3 Colossus getting yanked in. 4 Colossus. One of them manages to get out. The other 3 are destroyed. The Void Ray is going absolutely batshit, taking out a ton of Hydras. And HerO doing a pretty good job at destroying ViBE's army, but ViBE so far, he's got Locust on his side, so all the ground forces taking a beating, and the play with the Vipers yanking out those Colossus really, really hurt. So right now, I think that HerO is going to have to switch to a mainly air army, because with the Vipers and the Locusts and all that sort of stuff, he's not doing a very good job with his ground forces staying alive. In fact, they're going down really, really fast. The Void Ray is trying to have a go here, but so many more Hydras have come in as reinforcements. HerO has no chance of saving all of those guys, but running away from Hydras, even on creep, is quite a bit slow, so he's going to have to fall back here. And ViBE is going ballistic right here. He's actually down on workers, but he's building a ton of them. And HerO does have his Colossus up, and he's managed to get some High Templars out as well. He does have Storm Tech, so he should be getting sold a bunch of crazy stuff. And of course, Tempest immune to the Viper's yank, pretty much, because they're so hard to see. They're so tiny, so it's very, very hard to yank them. And storming is kind of a temporary solution to Locust though, because using up energy, and unless you have a very, very large amount of High Templar, it's hard to continually storm them to keep them down. And very nice range here. This base is going to be in a lot of trouble, and oh man, he built the Templar Archives right here. I'm not sure if that was a good idea, because that thing is way in the line of fire out here. It's going to go down sooner or later, unless HerO can really turn this game around, but he's just going to be pulling back from the army, and here they go. They're currently on attack move, attacking the cannon, but yeah, if he focuses on this Templar Archives, that could be bad news. We're going to go over here, just a bunch of links just sort of chilling out. Oh man, HerO. Yeah, the Void Rays are horrible at destroying these, but the Colossus, he's getting a decent Colossus army out. Starting to get a bunch of Archons, which are kind of good, but they have to be so close to the Locusts to actually hit them, so they do tend to go down pretty fast versus Locusts, simply because they're in range quite easily. So here we go, trying to destroy these guys as best they can. And ViBE has switched over to a bunch of Infestors as well, but he's also shoring up his defenses. He's got a ton of Spore Crawlers coming out all over here. and it's going to be so much harder for HerO to come in here with a bunch of Void Rays and start just knocking stuff out. The Phoenix play he did lifting these guys up, that's no longer possible with this many Spore Crawlers on the map. It's going to be getting owned, and he really needs to figure out some way of breaking this Swarm Host army. And it's very, very hard. It's extremely hard, in fact, for any sort of Protoss, Terran player, anybody to really break a Swarm Host army. They're just so bulky. And the only disadvantage of a Swarm Host army is that they're slow. They're very, very slow to push out. But other than that, they're extremely, extremely aggressive. And look at this, man. This poor Zealots, man. All they wanted to do is take out this 5th base, but so many spines are just going to knock it out. And I don't think HerO actually has any Phoenix he can sort of run in here and do his play with that he did before. Yanked up all the workers, but yeah. Oh well. Oh well. So it's going to come down to the long play, I guess, in this game, as to what HerO can possibly do to deal with this Swarm Host. I don't know that you can really do anything too much, so we'll see. We'll see. These guys actually, what, they're going for the workers? Going for the High Templars. The Templar Archives, the Hydra's actually pushing in with this army, and yeah, HerO's going to have to pull in and do something about this, but his army is quite a bit out of position right here. And actually did some feedback on the Queens. That's not something we've ever seen before, but it definitely killed a few of them right there. So his Templar Archives did go down. He's going to be rebuilding right at the back of his main base, which is definitely a better position to do it. And the next wave of Locusts comes out, which does stop temporarily HerO's push, although a nice Storm does take him out fairly easily. And we've got the ultimate Protoss Death Ball right here. It is Colossus and Void Rays. And we've actually got DTs coming out as well, which could potentially be a nice play here. I can... Oh man, you could do like a DT wall against the Locust. That would be crazy, but of course, a single Overseer would of course wreck that plan. And look at this fungal on the Void Ray army. That's nasty. That's very nasty. A bunch of these guys coming in. Storm's coming down on everything. Locust getting absolutely owned, and the Colossus starting to go to work, but Corruptor's coming out. Void Ray's coming out. The Hydra's coming out, and the Void Ray's getting quite nastily hit right there. So they're going down by a lot of health, and HerO is going out, he's meeting this threat head on, and he's doing a fair amount of damage, but he's taking a fair bruising at the same time, and ViBE just keeps on trucking. So there we go, starting to take some Nexus damage right here, and these guys, they might actually kill it in one wave. That the amount of damage that Locust can do is simply incredible, and HerO deciding that he's not going to just be trapped there like a goat staked to a pen or something like that. He's actually going to become a little bit mobile and is going to be sacrificing this base. He's moving out. He's got this base. He's got this base as well. So he's not going to be low on bases. And here he goes, moving in, and ViBE frantically trying to get his Swarm Host into a nice position once again to sort of deal with that. That HerO really needs a ton of Void Rays right now to deal with these Corruptors, but he's getting all sorts of craziness happening. He's getting Fungals on them. He's getting Hydras attacking them. He's actually doing a nice attack right here. The Zealots moving in, trying to take out the Spire. They may be able to do this, and this will be a great, great blow right there, because of course that means no more Corruptors for quite a while. And there we go, it goes down. So the Corruptor production is going to be all over. And the Zealots and the DTs as well. Don't forget the DTs coming in here and going to be taking out a ton of guys. Infestation Pit going down, that's going to be awesome as well. Moving in with the Colossus and the Void Rays, trying to get some stuff done. Fungal's still knocking this army back. Viper's starting to get out there, and there's a ton of Hydras ready to kill whatever the Viper's yank is. Here we go. The DT's still going nuts. Let's keep an eye on this DT right now. He's got 5 kills. See how many he gets in total. And yeah, there we go. HerO's still continuing to produce stuff, but his macro is actually pretty good. He's actually killed a ton of ViBE's workers, and this may be what starts to turn this game around, because he's got the macro advantage, a massive macro advantage, and ViBE is going to start to have a lot of trouble rebuilding his army. But he doesn't really need to rebuild a lot. He's just mainly Hydras and stuff like that, because his Swarm Hosts are not dying, they're not going down, and yeah, it's very, very hard. And here we go. Oh man, yanking a Colossus into this army would be absolutely horrendous right here. Absolutely horrendous. Here we go. Some nice storms coming down, and for now, HerO is holding off as best he can, but he needs to start going in. He needs to start thinking about the outside the box once again. And here we go. The Queen going to get destroyed, and if he destroys this Spore Crawler as well, that is going to be good news. Right now, he's just basically holding off. He's not trying to kill the Swarm Host there. He's basically holding off, but the main army coming in, finally finishing this base off, and that is going to go down. And if the army moves over to this base, then HerO is going to have to scramble really, really fast. But the Swarm Host, the Locust, continuing to move in here. On the other side, it's a great opportunity for HerO to try and push forward and try and actually take out the Swarm Host. If he gets the Void Rays out here with a single observer, he might be able to do something. There are a couple of Spore Crawlers saving that base. They're saving those Swarm Hosts, trying to defend them, but the Void Rays can chew through them pretty fast if they wanted to. Oh, the DT's finally going down, but they killed a lot of stuff while they were out there. So, yes, it's not too much of a worry, though. ViBE is going to be pulling back. He's going to be pulling back his Swarm Host as well, so he's done enough damage for now. Going to be pulling back. Didn't take out this base, which is good for Mr. HerO. But, yeah, he's still very, very scary in this game. And a bunch of Zealots coming out, run straight into a bunch of Hydras. They don't actually have speed on these Zealots, which is a bit surprising for this stage of the game. But, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? And look at this, man. HerO could potentially go for this base, maybe. He's still got all these Swarm Hosts, but what is he building? He's actually got level 3 air weapons, which is quite good. He's got a bunch of Zealots going for this base. The lair may go down. Is this the only lair? He's rebuilt this into a lair because his main base went down, and now this one went down as well. So he's morphing this one into a lair. I don't think he's got a hive anywhere yet, but he definitely needs a lair for a lot of his stuff. And the Zealots, because the army is so slow, this is a main disadvantage of the Swarm Host. Because this army is so slow, then you can't react to people attacking your base as fast as you would like. Oh, look at all the spines here, man. That's going to be a tough base to crack. This one might be a little bit easier, but it's also closer to the main army. And now the Tempests are out on the field, scaring away these guys. And the Swarm Hosts, they can land here all they want, but it's not going to be able to do anything versus their army. Here we go, actually, the Locusts coming in, and the Vipers are going to start to go to work. They'd love to yank out a Tempest and just take that down. But right now, he's just pulling back the Colossus. Oh, here we go. Snap. Snap, snap, snap. A Mothership coming out. And Cloaked Colossus cannot be targeted by Locust. You need some sort of vision. And I don't think that Mr. ViBE wants to move an Overseer anywhere near this army. That would just be crazy. So, is this it right here? Bunch of Colossus with a Mothership covering them. Is that going to be the counter for Swarm Host once and for all? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't. But it's working so far. The Locusts just chasing the units they can see, ignoring the Colossus completely. And right now a bunch of Zealots going in and getting wiped out by Spine Crawlers. So not a lot happening there, but I gotta like this play. And the problem is, if he starts moving in with a bunch of Corruptors to try and take this out, he's going to be running into a bunch of Void Rays, and the Void Rays will shred him. The Void Rays will absolutely destroy this army. So it's going to be dodgy, but ViBE still has the defensive advantage with the Spore Crawlers. There's Spore Crawlers everywhere, and it's going to be extremely hard for HerO to try and break that. He's going to be so hard. What abilities is it? Time Warp, Mass Recall, Cloaky Fit. So it doesn't have any crazy abilities anymore. It doesn't have the Vortex, which it used to have. Oh, some Infested Terrans are coming out. That's going to be a nice play, because they can actually hit air, so eventually they will be able to take out the Mothership. But yeah, they're not being launched anywhere close enough to be able to take that out. And here we go. He's thinking about taking out the Spores, and ViBE just moving them back. He does not want to lose Spores if he doesn't have to. Here we go. The Infested Terrans moving on in. So trying to get them in position, but they're so damn slow. It basically doesn't make a difference. Not Locusts are relatively fast, but the Infested Terrans, man, so damn slow. And here we go. He's just got to keep them all under the Mothership, and then he can wipe everything out. Absolutely. Look at this Locust, man, just being destroyed, not doing a single thing right there. And here we go. The Tempest. Now the Tempest are starting to get in range of the Spore Crawlers, but Fungals are coming down, and Fungals actually decloak stuff, I think. So when they're fungal, they're actually decloaked. So getting the fungals on the Colossus would cause them to be attackable by the Locusts. And I love the way these players are just working at trying to make it happen. I mean, he's got the cloak, so ViBE's trying to use the fungals to expose those units so the Locusts can take it out. It sort of works, but not super hard. And here he goes, actually moving around the other side. The mothership not moving across as fast as it possibly could be. And here we go, the Swarm Host coming down. The Void Ray is actually in range of the Hydras, in range of the Spore Coils. They're trying to do some damage if the Corruptors get in there. And this Void Ray pack getting chain fungled. Oh, a ton of Void Rays going down. And this army is falling back. So HerO making a little bit of a mistake, getting those Void Rays out of position. Now the mothership goes down. And now HerO is in a bit of a bad position. He had a plan going, but the plan has been turned on its head with that beautiful play by ViBE, managing to fungal the Void Rays. That was all it took to turn it around, and now HerO is in a very, very bad position, and he's going to lose God knows how many bases. But, I don't know. I mean, he's still in the lead worker-wise. He's still in a very, very good position, but I don't know. I mean, he's going to lose so many bases. I don't know if he's going to lose the workers there. I don't think he is. But he's going to start to run out of bases right now. He's got four bases, and only 1.5 of them are actually mining, which is going to be bad. Whereas Mr. ViBE, he's got like 2, 3 if you count this one, which I'm not sure we can really count this one anymore. But he's got 2 bases mining, and he doesn't really need that many workers to actually mine them. So, though most of the workers that HerO actually has are pretty much not going to be doing much at the moment. And here we go, nice storms going down on the Corruptor numbers actually. And the Corruptor's starting to go down in a big way. And the Void Rays trying to attack them, but they've been fungled, so they're a little bit out of range. I think the Corruptors maybe have a larger range than the Void Rays. Tempest trying to do something, but the Corruptors actually are starting to go down. The Corruptors are almost all dead. ViBE is definitely going to have to reproduce a lot of them. So, yeah, but once again, HerO just taking way too much damage in that engagement. Trying to build a massive amount of Void Rays, and maybe just mass Void Ray is going to be the way to go here. Although they are very open to attacks with fungal growths, man. You fungal a bunch of Void Rays, they are dead. There's just nowhere around it. They're dead there. So, and it's really something that HerO is struggling with at the moment, to find a counter to that excellent fungal attack on his Void Rays. And here we go. Looks like he's finally got Zealot legs anyway. So thinking about moving in there, attacking the Swarm Host, but then the Locust came out and he just had to run. DT's actually coming in, taking out that base. So if nothing else, you can say HerO is an extremely inventive player. And I don't know why I say if nothing else, because there's a whole lot of other stuff you can say about HerO that's definitely good. But man, taking out that base, there's no base here. The Zealots took that one out, and suddenly ViBE, all he has is his fortress right here. That's the only mining base he has, and it is starting to run low on minerals in some of those places. So he may be starved out here. I don't know. I mean, HerO, I thought he was going down, but if he manages to starve ViBE out with some excellent base attacks. His base attacks have been so good, sending the Zealots in there. Oh, nice fungals down there. But the question is, how is he going to be able to stand versus the Ultras? He's got a bunch of Void Rays, but as we've said, Void Rays can be countered with the Infestors. And how many Infestors do we have on the map? 3. So that's not a huge amount, but still, you know, still alright. He's actually moving a swarm. I'm not sure if this is a mistake. I think it's a mistake. Oh, dude, you got the wrong message right there. Oh, that guy's actually got 9 kills so far. It's pretty awesome, but yeah, totally screwed over, man. That would actually be interesting. I wonder if anybody's actually done a Swarm Host drop. Like, dropped in the back of your base, just a bunch of Swarm Hosts. I don't know if they would, because it seems so much easier just to do a long range attack, but it'd be interesting to see if that's ever going to be tried. Here we go, Zealot's just wiping out the creep shumers all over the place. That creep is getting owned so badly. Oh, the Swarm Host, what are you doing, ViBE? ViBE, you are stupid. That's a mistake. That's a total mistake right there. ViBE, what are you thinking? He may have just chucked the game array right there. That's like 6 or 7 Swarm Hosts that just died, and the other 4 just going to be running away from it. Oh, the Zealot, is he going to get this last one? They do get it. And now HerO moving in. He is going to be just destroying everything. There's no threat of Swarm Host to really destroy him too much anymore. There's a bunch of locusts, but they get destroyed so easily. Meanwhile, the Ultra's coming into this base, and these 3 Stargates are going to go down. Is HerO going to come back to try and save this? I don't think so. I think he's seen an opportunity right here, and he's just going to wipe everything out. So that one mistake by ViBE might just turn it around, and here we go. A bunch of Infestors back in the base, and this is going to be where ViBE makes his hold. He's got the Ultras coming in, but I think HerO should be able to hold off those Ultras if he wants to. And here he goes, moving in, a bunch of Void Rays, bunch of Zealots, and the Zealots are going to go absolutely ballistic. Eventually they will go down, but the Void Rays coming in behind them. Bunch of Corruptors as well. Fungal's starting to go down on the Void Ray numbers, and will it be enough to really see these guys down? I don't know that it will. I really don't. I think that HerO has the Void Ray numbers here to take these guys out. Infested Terrans coming out. This could be deadly right here. This could be very deadly. And Void Rays, I mean, they're good versus Hydras, but Infested Terrans is another matter entirely. And the Void Rays doing, oh man, they are going down quite fast right here. But the Infested Terran numbers are sort of dried up, and now they're going to be taken out as much as they possibly can. Oh, the Infestors jumping down. Where is the, there we go, there's the damn thing. And one single Infestor manages to fall back. And now the Ultras have cleaned up that base. They're now coming into this one. Ton of cannons defending against them. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. These guys have so much health. The cannon's basically doing no damage to them. It's absolutely ridiculous. And what do we got here? This base has been taken out. This base is now ViBE's last hope. It was the other base, but now it's this base. So building a ton of spores, ton of spines. We'll see if that can help. I'm not sure it can. And I really think that ViBE is just going down here. I mean, look at this. HerO can fall back and wipe out the Ultras. There's no question about that. And so he's just using his time as best he can to take out these bases ASAP. He's got one base left before ViBE is utterly crushed. But then again, he's losing so much of this stuff. And at some point, he's got to fall back and say, alright, let's take out these Ultras, man. Because they're just destroying everything. So I really think that he should probably do that. He should probably do that. I mean, he's sending his Void Rays in, trying to do as much as he can. There's a bunch of Hydras actually out, but oh, the Viper yanking in the Tempest, and the Tempest is going to survive by the skin of its teeth. So very nice job there. And yeah, HerO right now trying his absolutely best to finish this off, but it's not really happening. ViBE, man, get a move on. You got 5 Ultras and they're not doing anything. Maybe he's just given up. No, he's finally moving them around. He's going to move down and see what bases he can take out, because yeah, HerO doesn't have a lot, and rebuilding a Nexus right now, not the sort of thing that he wants to be working on. He's down to 31 workers, but ViBE is only at 12, and here we go. The Ultras are going to be taken out. So now HerO is going to be firmly and completely in control. And ViBE, not really much he can do about it. The Ultras are finally free. What building can they try and take out in the end to try and make a difference? I just don't know. They're kind of indecisive, and in the end they take out nothing. So not that good, but the Swarm Host actually moving in, starting to take out all these workers, and there's actually a creep shimmer there. How annoying is that? Really annoying. We do have a base coming down here, and ViBE may be hoping to stop that from going down, maybe get his own base over there. Is going to be foiled, and now these 5 Swarm Hosts. All he needs is a bunch of Void Rays to go in there, wipe that out, and they are going to go down, and the Void Rays are going to try and find those guys. Yeah, they definitely killed a lot of workers. We're down to 24, so he's lost about 10 more workers to that battle. And yeah, ViBE, he's basically just built himself a fortress, and that's where he's going to stay. He's going to try and build up some units, but he's not really going to be able to build that many. And what? That base actually got cancelled? Bunch of Lings must have been attacking it or something. I do not know. And the worker coming in is going to build his own hatchery there. So HerO's okay though. He's building a base there, and that should be enough to see him through to the end of the game, which is not going to be far off by now. I don't see how it possibly could be. All HerO needs to do is get a decent economy and just get a ton of, I don't know, Void Rays and whatever else you can throw at this base. It's going to be interesting because, I mean, Vipers are still going to be quite awesome. They can yank those guys into a sea of Swarm Hosts and probably take them out ASAP, but It's going to be interesting to see how this works out. So anyway, he's just clearing up the creep right now. HerO knows he's in the lead, and he's going to be doing a very, very good job right here of just clearing it out. And I gotta say, I mean, this game has been all over the place, but some of the mistakes we've seen have been quite decisive. I mean, HerO made a relative mistake. It wasn't a massive one, but it was a decent mistake when he let those 5 Void Rays get caught by the fungal out of position, and then his whole army had to fall back. He was losing so much, but it pales in comparison to the mistake made by ViBE, moving 9 swarm hosts directly into HerO's army, and oh, they just all got wiped out. Like 6 of them did anyway, and that was it. That was the turning point where ViBE was just like, you know what, I'm actually pretty screwed here. And from then on, he's just fallen back to purely defensive play, and a little bit of attacks here and there, but mainly defensive. And here he goes, just falling back, morphing in a lair for the 4th time so far this game. Oh man, I think eventually HerO is going to take this out. I mean, he's got the worker numbers, and now he's got a properly mining base, so I think he's just going to be fine. He's building up a bunch of Void Rays. He's got another base over here, and yeah, he's just making sure that Mr. ViBE does not get a second base right here. He's trying, and he's actually using the Locust to try and defend against this, but don't know how well that's going to work. I think as soon as HerO sees this, he's going to wipe it out. Oh man, look at all of those spore crawlers. That's a huge deployment. He's not moving everything out, but he's moving a fair amount out. This base is so open to a Void Ray attack right now, it's not even funny. And if HerO is keeping up his scouting on this base, it is going to go down, and all the tech structures are going to go down. So ViBE taking a ton of spores out there to try and hold this base, but he left his main base. I can't believe this is his main base. He's left his main base so undefended at the moment, and a bunch of Void Rays in there would absolutely own everything. Oh, he's trying. He's going to have a go, forcing that to cancel the very last second, and ViBE is going to have to rebuild it, but he needs a total spore sort of placement around here if he wants to hold that off. And the question is HerO going to see the opportunity of this base? No spore crawlers at all the tech buildings, and the hive. That is an opportunity on a golden platter. He just has to see it, and then he can go ahead and take it. But is he going to see it? And that is the question. So yeah, it's a very interesting question actually. Yeah, very interesting question. Oh man, this game is going forever, ever and ever and ever. There's so many spores here, man. I feel like you just take like 20 billion zealots and just run in there and wipe the whole place out. So that's been pretty good. He's sort of fallen back now. Is he going to be scouting this? A zealot? Oh, the zealot's coming in here. His zealot is going to be scouting this base. He's going to see the spine there. He's going to see all the buildings. He's going to see no spores. And that's it. I think HerO must go for this base right now. I think he's going to go in. He's going to be owning a couple of queens coming back to us. That's not going to help the situation. Here we go. A bunch of zealots coming in. And actually the main army is moving in here. No, they're skirting around. Oh, what are they doing? Just going for some, hitting some stuff on the edge, seeing how well they can do. And managed to hit a couple of things there. So there's nice play. The zealots did manage to go down, but the Void Rays moving around, and here we go. He's going to take advantage of this play. And is ViBE going to take advantage of the fact the Void Rays are out of position? I don't know if he's got anything to take advantage with. Moving his swarm host closer to this base may be it, but no, I think this base is going down, and I think ViBE is just going to say, you know what, this is it. I'm just going to give up right now, because all of his tech structures are going to go down. All of his buildings are going to go down. No way to save it. Absolutely utter destruction at the hands of HerO. And he's just got this one base. And, I mean, what can he possibly do at this point? What can he possibly do? Nothing. There's really, really nothing he can do at this point. He's trying to take this base out. And HerO pulling his workers away for now. Going to try and defend it, but he's actually going to take this opportunity to just move in, attack move on all of these spine crawlers, yanking a Void Ray in here. That Void Ray is going to take a lot of damage. Yanking the Mothership Core in as well. and that guy got destroyed pretty badly. So the ViBE is actually doing a pretty good job here of yanking those guys in, but the spore count is starting to get less. It's starting to get less, and sooner or later it'll go down to 0. We do have some infestors that he managed to produce, and that's good, because where is his... Does he still have an infestation pit? No, he's got a thing over there which is still alive somehow. Is the health going down on this thing? Sort of staying alive with the creep down there. And here we go. HerO moving out, attacking from a different location. Going to try and destroy everything here. It's just a matter of time before HerO takes this out, I feel like. It's just a matter of time. But you saw how many Void Rays he lost to the Vipers in that previous engagement. Like 3 or 4. And that's not an amount he can just chuck away easily at this point in the game. So yeah, he's still going to be a bit cautious. That Viper play over the Spore Crawlers is a really, really great play from ViBE at this point in the game. And I can understand. He's got to be cautious right here. And he can't just build 20 billion Zealots and move in, which would be a great play. But he just can't do it. He can't afford to do it. He's got a ton of Zealots right here. And he's just sort of peppering the edges right here. Trying to take out as much as he can easily to sort of get an advantage on his side, sort of. Oh, man. I mean, ViBE can't win. I don't think he can win here unless HerO starts doing something really stupid, like throwing away his entire army. But I don't think HerO is going to do that. I mean, he has to risk it. He has to risk a lot of it to try and get in here, but I don't think he can do it. I don't think he's going to do it, sorry. But how can he defeat this base without risking all of his forces? It's got to be tough. There's so many Vipers getting out there. They'd love to yank something in. Oh, he's just making sure he keeps his army out of range. And maybe this is the answer. The Stalkers moving in, because Stalkers, I mean, they're not quite worth a Viper yank in terms of energy, but they can start to hit the Spore Crawlers. So a bunch of Stalkers getting in here will be quite decisive. And the Tempest as well, doing a good job, slowly killing all of those spores. But I mean, ViBE, he's mining minerals so he can afford to keep producing spores for as long as he wants. Oh, a Tempest getting yanked out, but this guy, oh, chain yanked out. That's not good. The second chain really killed it, and the third one. Oh, man. How is he producing Hydras? He's got a Hydralisk den up here somehow. So, yeah, he's rebuilding a lair here, so... Or is he rebuilding a hive? I'm not sure. But HerO falling back. And the crazy thing is, HerO has all these forces, but I am not sure if he goes in full bore that he would actually win. And HerO's obviously not sure either, but... Yeah, it's just so hard. Did he actually kill those 3 infestors? Did he? I think he did. I think he just sniped those 3 infestors with his Stalkers. That is a devastating blow right there. Devastating blow to Mr. HerO right now. And suddenly Void Rays are so much better because they're not going to be able to get fungled. So he's still going to worry about the spores. And ViBE actually leaving his base a little bit undefended to try and push out with a frontal force. Trying to do a slow push. And if he can actually get to this base and take it out, that's going to be quite devastating. But he finally takes out that guy. That thing was so annoying, but yeah, there we go. ViBE moving out, thinking about taking out this base, and HerO is going to go around the long way, and is going to be trying to take out Mr. ViBE's base as well. So, or actually just move back to the backside and just take this force out once and for all. He's moving in. He's got the Void Ray army. There's actually a cloud on top of the Stalkers. That's pretty devastating. But Storm's starting to come out. Managed to get some Storm units as well. And now I think this army is just going to get crushed. ViBE, it does go down. Finally gives the GG after an hour and 3 minutes. And HerO finally taking it home. So there we go. Good stuff. And man, that was a crazy game. But games with Swarm hosts always are crazy. And oh god, this one is going to take ages to upload. So I better get started ASAP. Anyway, thank you very much for this game. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys tomorrow with another one. This should seriously count for like 2 days or something. But no, yeah, I'll catch you guys for another one. This has been HerO Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game. Stay tuned.